You see here the grading scale. There are 3 required books for this semester. One is an edited book by myself and some colleagues on instructional leadership. The next is one of my all-time favorite books on leadership, a book by Doug Reeves on how to lead for change. It's really great. And then the third one is this Zemmelman et al. Book, and it's in its 4th edition. It's a great book on best practices. In just a minute, I'll give you a glimpse into the course calendar. And I do want you to read this extremely carefully. It's the university's academic integrity policy. It's very, very important to me that as leaders, that we model integrity in all that we do. And you are expected to perform to a very high level of integrity in this class. So you need to be very careful in your work that you submit to make sure that it is your own original work. And when you are using the ideas or the words of someone else, you have to cite those correctly. Trust me, I've had some situations where students have failed a class because of this, or I won't go into it, but it's gotten ugly in some cases. So be very careful about that and recognize that any violations of the academic integrity policy will result in a grade of F for the course and, depending on the circumstances, also possible suspension from your program. So be very careful about academic integrity and always be your ethical best. During class, please make sure that you disengage from any technology that you are not using for the specific purposes of this class. I think a lot of times in our culture, we cultivate this idea of multitasking. That's really not good for your brain, and it actually, research shows that your brain can't really multitask. Instead, it's shifting very quickly from one task to another, and that keeps the brain from ever really thinking deeply about any individual thing, and it also keeps the brain from really synthesizing things carefully. So let's be kind to our brains and respectful to each other and follow this technology etiquette. There are tons of helpful websites here if you're looking for a good time, and also some additional resources. I've also listed some associations and councils that you might consider being part of in your career. Also, as you might expect, you need to be both physically and intellectually present at every class session. Here are some recommended readings if you're, again, looking for yet more to do in your life. And then the end of this syllabus just goes over the alignment of the course with both state and national standards for educational leaders. And then also provides some resources if you need any additional special support, or if you yourself have any special learning needs, please let me know so that I can be respectful of those and make any accommodations needed. So first of all, throughout this course calendar, I use these abbreviations for the readings. I use postcards, BP for best practices, and Reeves for the Reeves book. And the way this is laid out, there are these columns that list each week of the semester, the topic or topics for that week, and any reading and assignments you need to complete before class, so before you come to class on Tuesday. And then also any assignments for that week, and there is an assignment every week of the class, and those are always, like I said, unless otherwise noted, due Sundays at 11:59 p.m. So just as an example here, let's go down to week 3. So this is the week of September 2nd. So the topic is on, quote, best practices in teacher leadership. So your readings are going to be the continuing search for best practices in classroom instruction, and that will be on, actually it won't be on Blackboard. We're using Canvas this semester. I'll talk about that in yet another video mini lesson shortly. And then you also have a reading from the postcards book for chapters 5 and 6. Then you will need to submit a Flipgrid post by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. The prompt for this will be on the Canvas module for this week, and I'll introduce you to that in yet another video mini lesson. So just hang with me here. It'll all become clear over time. Do not panic. It's all good. All right, so this kind of gives you an idea of how things are laid out. Any assessment that's a summative assessment that will be part of your final grade is bolded here. And you will also see that this is sort of interesting and strange. So we have fall break the week of October 14th. And then, believe it or not, our last class will be the week of November 18th, because the week after that is Thanksgiving, and then the week after that is the end of the semester. And that Tuesday, December, whatever it is actually reading day. And so we can't meet on that day, but your projects will be due 2 days later on December 4th. I hope this makes sense. And like I said, this is just an overview, but get familiar with these materials and bring your questions to class and we'll get them all answered. And like I said, if you're feeling a little concerned or panicky right now, that's okay. That's probably normal, I would imagine. But at the same time, recognize that you're in this program because you are capable, because you have a good deal of potential, and that capableness and that potential are going to suit you well in this course, and I will provide you whatever support you need to be successful. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you.